You wrote an article, and I'm take us through this. Key questions that Andrew Berry was not asked at his press briefing, given the Browns NFL draft record. Going into one of the most critical seasons, including free agency in the NFL draft, what gives you, you're asking Andrew Berry that question, and your staff the thought and confidence that you'll get it right this time, given your track record, especially in the draft? And take us through kind of that. I get he hasn't drafted high, but Jedrick Wills was a huge miss at 10.
Yeah, that was his first pick and not too good. He's only had two first round picks. The other one was Greg Newsome, in the 20s. But, when you're drafting the first and even second round, those guys, I don't know if the bar is just starters. I mean, starters on a 3 and 14 team. I look at Pro Bowl, and in 37 picks he's made in 5 years, they have one Pro Bowler, and that was JOK last year. And I think he was an alternate that, took somebody's place. Might have been the best draft pick he's had, in the 37 picks. As you said, he's only had two first round picks. They traded three first round picks and a couple second round for Deshaun Watson, so he didn't get to pick. But who made that decision to trade those five picks away? Probably Andrew Berry was involved in that. So that was it was a question. It was kind of in a little spoof because that was my question that I couldn't get out. Just ran out of time, and you know how those goes. It's kind of like a free for all. Everybody screaming out their questions, and I guess I'm not rude enough to interrupt people. So anyway, my question is, it's not all on him, but his staff, his scouts. Do you really trust in such a big off season or a draft that they're going to get it right? I mean, you got to get number two right. And you can't force the pick at quarterback. If you're sold that Shadur Sanders or Cam Ward or even Jalen Milroe is the franchise quarterback, then you take them because you hopefully you're not picking there again. But just because they're the top quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL draft, you can't just draft somebody because maybe these guys would be ranked lower than guys taken in the first round in years past. So you can't force it. You got to take the best player. You always heard take the best player, and that's what I'm saying. But going back to the premise, do you trust them? And obviously, time has passed. The Haslams, those that make the decisions, trust Andrew Bear and his staff with this offseason because they did not move on from them. I was maybe being a proponent. There's been some GMs, that were let go that have some pretty good track records, and maybe you could bring somebody in as a consultant. Then you pick up all their expertise, from studying for this draft if they're currently without a team, and to get all the help you can get because it's so right. I don't, not just two, but 33. Those are both basically like first round picks, and you really got to hit on both those. Um, I get that there might not be the year that you're up here, there might not be a franchise quarterback, but you have to make that determination and then, get the best player available at number two. And if you feel like you can trade down and somebody that really wants one of those guys, then you squeeze it, but not to get past uh, the top five. I just feel like whatever it is, the blue chip players, there's usually not more than four, five, six in every draft. And you don't want to trade outside of that. So you're just getting a good player. You're not getting a franchise impacting player.